Anyway, so I'm going to do some bits for you. I'm a satirist, and I wanted to write this great Christopher Hitchens type speech, and have it all written out. And what happened was Malcolm Young from AC/DC died yesterday, and so I spent the day listening to Toxic Masculinity. Squealer! And that's what I did. Hello, are we there? But there's a little bit of relief. Are we any AC/DC fans in the house? Yeah. And if you saw the BBC, the woman was almost smiling with relief that another toxic male had died. So Malcolm Young has died, and soon it will just be Moby. Whoosh. So, bit of relief there. And we go live now to the Women's March in Trafalgar Square with Linda Sarsour. I am here today to speak out for women worldwide against toxic masculinity. Actually, this got me dragged off the stage at a feminist freshers conference in Manchester. One of the impressions I like to do is, this is the front page of every third issue of The Guardian. Thank you, Sister Sahib, for that presentation, Understanding Islam, building a bridge between Islam and the Muslim world. Now we take question on Islam. Yes, we have question. Yes, I'm concerned about women's rights in Islam, particularly with things like stoning to death for adultery. What can you tell us about that? Sir, I'm not listening. You're a woman. Next question. And those it was up in Manchester, and the girls were like, no. I hate feminism, and I'm not so much men's rights as I am anti-feminism. I'm anti any kind of collective mentality, that whether that's the white privilege lie or the toxic masculinity lie, just anything collective, and that's why I supported Donald Trump. Get the fuck out. Oh, thank God. Well, that's the reaction I get all the time playing in London, I gotta tell you. No, I want to do a good job tonight because I don't want to go back to the feminists, man. They are fucking hard to please. But I'll start off with an old bit. Yesterday I procrastinated so much. I said, you know what? Just do some comedy, because I do bits that get me in trouble all the time. And once upon a time, that's why I moved to this country, because once upon a time, I'm from a small town in the Midwest, right? And I grew up, I would watch British comedy and see them just breaking the rules. And what's sad now is if you're in the comedy business, it's all about following rules. It's the exact opposite. Don't say that, it's too early, but that's a religion, but it's a race, not a religion. The women have it hard, right? And I lived with a fucking Radio 4 producer. She's my first girlfriend out here. And I said, why did you get so-and-so on that program? And they keep saying we have to have more women. And so you'd hear this mantra, more women, it doesn't matter, merit doesn't matter. It's all this diversity quota box-ticking bullshit. So let's rock and roll, man. So this is an oldie but a goodie, and I think you guys will like it. It came up to me in San Francisco. The idea came to me. It was about the whole empowerment thing, but it's not really pornography, it's empowerment. And it begins with a little question I'd like to ask all of you tonight. Do you like hot, wet, drippy pussies? Are you ready for the most fucktastic, cum-filled night of your life? How would you like to jizz all over your cum? If you like hot girl-on-girl dominatrix action, then come to the Center for Cultural Expression this Saturday, where the Feminist Council is presenting a week-long study, Subverting the Patriarchy, Restoring Female Sexuality to the Female Body, featuring poetry and performance art by some of the area's most shameless, incest-surviving, sexually abused whores who will do anything to get your dick hard and pointy, and reawaken women to themselves as sexual creatures. If you like loose, drippy pussy lips and strap-on dildo titty fucking, this is the seminar for you. It's time to take part in this seminar that'll show you how to finger fuck yourself into cum-shooting oblivion. It's all girl-on-girl action in the name of fucking and sucking and awakening women to themselves as fuckable cum-filled orifice possessors. If you like to fuck or you like to get fucked, then come to the Center for Cultural Expression. Cost of admission is only £5. Half off at the rim job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I made some notes. I was talking to. I came to this issue actually pretty late in the game, because I'm not a fan of like any kind of dogma, and I would always go after Islam, and I would always say I was a feminist just to try to win arguments about Islam. And I actually met Elizabeth at a talk Douglas Murray was given, and I said, well, I'm a feminist, and I've never been a feminist in my life. Right? I just said it because I wanted to win the argument, and. And she goes, well, I'm not a feminist either. I go, I'm not either. I didn't know it was safe to say that. But when I moved out here, there does seem to be something. I keep asking myself, what the fuck did British men do to their women that has led to this shit? I can't believe it was that horrible. And, so who knows? It's madness. But let's get more comedy, huh? Very nervous, very nervous. I have to succeed here because, I got blacklisted, What I did was 2 years ago, I gave some fake awards at the Edinburgh Fringe called the Defining the Norm Awards, and there were various categories like the I Am a Woman Award, the I Am Gay Award, and I named names. And it's funny that years later, the Harvey Weinstein thing happened, and I'm seeing bookers who book comedians who are getting emails from women that they're not booking because those women just happen to not be funny. Some women aren't funny and some men aren't funny. It's possible. And they're being accused of being like Harvey Weinstein, right? So this is being thrown around, and I'm talking to men who are talking about, this adding to their anxiety. So when the Harvey thing first broke, it was a little bit like, okay, fuck Hollywood, fuck the pigs, But there's a guy who's got the same last name as I do in the States right now, and I'm not a fan of him, but, the name Franken is in the news, and it's not about me. It's Al Franken. So if you Google my name now, you go, Will Franken apologize? Will Franken apologize for touching a woman's breast? Will he get down on his knees and be henpecked into cultural oblivion? Get down on your knees, Will Franken. So I think what I resent about that, it presumes that every man has the same sexual fetish. And I don't like to pay £1,000 a night to be beaten and sissy slut trained. I'm sorry, I just like to... Good old-fashioned missionary sex, that's what I like, so... Anyway. Here's another one, because I was in academics in a former life. I went to university just at the right time before that split happened, when there were, facts into feelings. And I always resented the teachers who would come in with the elephant print dresses and the wooden jewelry and say, let's get rid of these rows, let's make a circle. Now, what do we feel about William Blake? And all that shit, I couldn't handle it. But I do a piss take. I haven't done this one in a while, so bear with me. It's a piss take on a feminist conference, so let's see. I do voices, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. I'm emotionally retarded. That's how I got out of every relationship. I would just put on a voice. And for like a month, I'd be speaking like some motherfucker from The Wire, and the bitch be like, I'm getting the fuck out of this motherfucker. I don't think he wants to be in his relationship no more because he ain't spoken his real voice for a long time. So thank you so much for being here today at the International Women's Day Conference. I'm going to introduce a lovely lady. She's been a great inspiration to me. She is Dr. Jane Meadows. Dr. Jane, a feminist pioneer. Dr. Jane Meadows, please welcome. My name's Dr. Jane Meadows. I used to be married, I was. My husband used to say things to me like, Jane, pass the salt. Jane, look, pass the salt. One day I refused to be a victim anymore. And I stabbed the fucker in the neck 52 times. And I'll be looking for salt where he is now. Cheers. Thank you, Dr. Meadows. What an inspiring story, Dr. Meadows. What a lovely story. Questions for Dr. Meadows? Yes, Dr. Meadows. I'm a big fan of your work. I've got a boyfriend, and so far in the relationship, salt has not been an issue. But every now and then he does ask for pepper. So my question is, would the same feminist principles apply for pepper as they do for salt? It's not the condiment that matters. It's the sense of ownership. I'm nobody's fucking salt person. So that was basically just a fun piss take on that. I think we're going to show a little bit of the film. I did a film. So what happened was I got blacklisted from Live Bookers and the BBC for doing those awards. I love comedy. I moved out to this country because of its comedic and satiric tradition, but if we're not allowed to make fun of anything anymore, fuck it. I mean, it'll just be a group of feelings and fun, and we'll talk about balloons. We've got some balloons here tonight. Those are nice, purple, and that's my time. Good night. And I just don't know what we're going to make fun of anymore. It's just, where's the rock and roll? And so I got blacklisted, and Scott Ambrose, where is he? He's filming me, actually, Scott Ambrose. He said, we should make a movie. And we'd never done a movie before. And so I just thought of a dead white male. Let's do a documentary on William Blake. Any Blake fans here? Yeah. And Blake, see, to me it's all about the art. And you cannot build a civilization, you cannot maintain a civilization through apologies, right? Jonas Salk didn't look at a Petri dish and apologize to come up with the polio vaccine. I mean, Beethoven didn't sit in a piano and apologize note for note. I want to write the next symphony. I'm sorry, I'm coming forward now. None of that shit. Right? We got to rock and roll. And I think, are we ready to go with this? Okay, bear with us. I don't really do a lot of tech, and if this goes well, I'll do the bit about the woman that got fucked so hard she couldn't walk for 3 days straight. See, because what happens is, everywhere you go, the papers, it's like grope, grope, drip, drip, squirt, squirt, drip, drip, but then you can't have sex. It's this weird contradictory message that we're living with, and I think it's really fucking men up. And this guy I was speaking to, total stranger, and men are coming out and they're saying, like, this is adding to my anxiety. And I don't know if do you guys relate to this? It just adds to a general sense of anxiety. What the fuck is going on? You know, Nottingham, there's a guy from Nottingham here, right? Did you know misogyny is against the law in Nottingham? Well, who the fuck defines that? Why even go out on a Friday night? Stay at home, masturbate, you'll be a lot better off. All right, so what I wanted to do with this Blake film was, it's my belief that a lot of the great literary heroes, and by the way, who's heard of this woman in Cambridge that said that the word genius is insulting to women? This fucking nun, what an idiot, right? And she's not sacked. I don't know why people like that don't get sacked, but she's polluting the minds of men and women when she puts that out there, in my opinion. So it's my opinion that a lot of my intellectual heroes, if they were around today, would be saying fuck you to political correctness. I don't think it's funny because there's actually another Blake, and we'd never done a film before. We're very working class, and it was Scott with his camera, and we just did some acid and smoked some pot and made this film. But the plan was the first 3/4 of the film were setting Blake in his own time, in the context of the Napoleonic and American revolutions, and even writing about Napoleon seemed like it was an offensive thing to big balls Napoleon. You know what I'm saying? I found the crown of France in the gutter and I picked it up, motherfucker. You know, I mean, big balls Napoleon. Sorry, nobody likes Napoleon here. Should have gone to France and done that bit anyway. Relax. Okay. And then the last quarter of the movie, I wanted to put Blake in the context of today and how he would react against. Does anybody know the term mind-forged manacles? In the poem London, he wrote about the mind-forged manacles. In his time, he was talking about the attitude that people had towards the chimney sweepers. We got to clean the chimney. Let's send a 6-year-old up the chimney. Fuck it if he dies, whatever. This kind of mental enslavement. And I believe that the mental enslavement we're facing today is the white privilege myth, the toxic masculinity myth. What else do we go after? Do you remember?
Psychology.
Oh, the psychology. Oh, yeah. Your kid's acting funny. Put him put him in a dress. Give him a pill. Whatever. Everything masculine is suspect these days. It's a very frightening time. It's a very, which is funny. And I should mention this as well. I recently came up with that men are defined by shame. We don't need to stand still and receive any shame. There's this idea that stop making things, stop creating things, stand still and receive your shame. But we're defined by our shame. I had my prostate checked the other day. Anybody ever had one of those? Oh my God. And the guy was very gentle. He was nice. We spooned afterwards. But sorry. So afterwards, because I don't know anything about a prostate. I don't know what prostate is. Apparently, is it important? I don't know. But he did that, and I said, the important question, will I ever be able to have sex again? Not after the check. I mean, if they have to remove the prostate. And he said, you are 44. Surely you have had hundreds of women. Yeah, hundreds. So we are defined by shame. We go out there, we earn money, we have to have X number. Our whole life is defined as a reaction against shame. And I hate getting personal because it's such an Oprah Winfrey thing to do nowadays. But I did spend 7 months 2 years ago dressed as a woman. And I did this because it was a midlife crisis, I guess. Some people buy a Corvette. I didn't have enough money, so I went to the charity shop. And I did that because, I did not have, I would say, a healthy male role model growing up. And I had 3 sisters and a mother that raised me, and as older sisters are wont to do, they dressed me up, and it was a bit of a lark. And sometimes you develop these little escapist habits, And so what happened was living 7 months like that, it kind of cured me of this thing. And because I think this transgender thing is all part and parcel of it. And I worry that there's going to be a time where boys put on the dress because that will be... we always had tomboys. Girls would be tomboys. I'm a tomboy. Well, she's just trying to be like, the leading figure in the household. And I worry that we're coming to an era where the boy will put on the dress because the dress will be the symbol of power. And I don't know if that's right. Just call me old-fashioned. I don't know. But one thing that I did really resent was the hypocrisy. I've been doing satirical comedy, going after the modern religions of our age for a long, long time. And when I first came to this country, I was told by other Americans that the British love you the first year you're out here. And then when they realize that you're staying, they think something's wrong with you. They said, oh, I thought you had a home in Hollywood. No, actually, Rumple of the Bailey. What a great show. Like, they think you're weird for wanting to stay in England. And so a lot of the fanfare I had when I first moved out here kind of dissipated the more I took on the PC culture. But when I put on that dress, I was getting a lot of fucking love, and it really made me sick. It absolutely made me sick. And it just felt like a sham. And people would come to shows where I was singing. I had one show where I was singing, I know Allah's got a plan for me. Thank you. And it was just like, that wouldn't even register. It was just, they only see the superficie. So these assholes that we're dealing with that run the BBC or run the corporations or whatever, they are the most shallowest people around. They can only see in terms of what you're wearing, your skin color, your gender. They are racist, for lack of they're racist and sexist, for lack of a better word. It's like the anti-fascists are the fascists, the statue of France be tearing down. Anyway, let's rock and roll. I want to show you a little clip from this. This is when we take Blake to the, and bear in mind we did do some drugs in the making of this. But we kind of want to do a Pink Floyd, The Wall, Stroke, William Blake documentary, modern day. And this is the scene where we come out of dissecting the white privilege myth into the toxic masculinity thing. And it's just a little sequence. Thank you for your patience. Anything else? Scott, you want to say anything on this before? We've never showed it to a crowd before. It is unfathomable to a lot of people. Can I just say this? There was... we wanted to get vox pops of people at the end to say who their British hero was. And I was getting all sorts of reactions like, I don't think it's right to use the word hero. I just don't. I think it's wrong. I think we need heroes more than ever. I think we need people going out there and doing their own thing and not fucking apologizing. The only time I thought Donald Trump was going to lose was when he apologized. The moment he threw his hat in the ring, I said that he is going to fucking win because people are sick to fucking death of being lectured to. And thank fuck we dodged a bullet that Hillary Clinton did not get in. We dodged a serious fucking bullet. My God. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to show this little sequence. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Yeah, all right. It's crazy. Lecturing. Just more lectures. We can't say. But the only time I thought he was going to apologize was when he apologized. The only time I thought he was going to lose was when he apologized. The fuck is that? You want a piece of me, motherfucker? I was so scared. That security guard, man, he yanked my coat. I was like, but, anyway. I'll close with the bit where the girl gets fucked so hard. Do you want to see that? All right, cool. I can't take this off the mic. Maybe I should just close now. Should I close now? I've seen you on TV, man. Mike Buchanan. You're fucking hysterical, man. He is fucking hysterical. I love this guy. So this was inspired by this guy. Before I moved out here, a guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, man, I fucked this bitch so hard last week she couldn't walk for 3 days straight." Oh, really? I sure would like to hear her side of the story. What's the matter? You don't believe me? No, I believe you. But before I congratulate you on a job well fucked, I'm afraid I can't get the image out of my mind of a poor, defenseless woman unable to use her legs for 3 days. What's going on in her world, man?
Help me, somebody help me. I've been fucked so hard I can't walk for 3 days straight. Oh, why? Cassie, we came as soon as we heard. Josh Brad's telling everybody he fucked you so hard you can't walk for 3 days straight. How much longer do you have to go? 12 hours. I'm going to lose my job. I just know it. Oh, why? Cassie, don't worry. No, I'll lose my job. I'm worthless without my legs. Worthless. No, Cassie, you're not worthless. You can help other women who've been fucked so hard they can't walk for 3 days straight. You can help them by telling your story, and you can call it Cassie's story. Now, Cassie's story gets picked up by the Oprah Winfrey Network because she's just the type of woman to do something like that. Now, my Oprah Winfrey voice is not accurate. I do the ethos of Oprah Winfrey. Basically, I do a proud black woman, which is a very good voice to have in your arsenal if you do want to get out of a relationship or not do something nice for your partner. Honey, can you give me a glass of water?
I promised myself a long time ago I was never going to get no water for no white woman. Lord have mercy.
My name is Oprah Winfrey. I'm a proud black woman. I'm going to introduce to you a director of a motion picture called Cassie's Story, about a young lady who's been fucked so hard she can't walk for 3 days straight. It's a powerful motion picture with a powerful message. Please welcome the director, Miss Jodie Foster. Hello, my name is Jodie Foster. I'm going to show you a clip from a motion picture called Cassie's Story, about a young lady who's been fucked so hard she can't walk for 3 days straight. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you for having me. I'm Jodie Foster. Now, this is the scene. Now, we're all in this together, right? You guys with me? Big climax. Don't worry about the film. It's a big climax. You know this, right? Now, we're all in this movie together, right? You with me? Yeah? Okay. Cassie, that is me, is talking to her fellow students about the dangers of being fucked that hard, right? She's on leg braces now. It's been a few weeks, so she's finding it difficult, but she's getting around. Okay, so now a little audience participation to close the event, right? The last line Cassie has is, I may not be able to walk with these, but I can walk with this, right? So when she says that, I like a volunteer to wait 2 seconds and then do this very slowly. And I said, who wants to do that tonight? Thank you, darling. What's your name? Kaylee. All right, so everybody watch Kaylee. When she stands up, I want this side to stand up, you guys to stand up, be a big standing ovation for me. Right? Okay. Ready? And action. My name is Cassie Ugboot. 3 weeks ago, I was fucked so hard I couldn't walk for 3 days straight. This is not just an issue that affects women, it also affects the LGBTYN decimal point explosion community also. Our local homosexual is here to tell us more about that. Yeah, Cassie, you're so awesome for shedding light on this topic. You're such a little light shedder. Oh my God, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. You're so awesome. Yes, this issue does affect the LGBT DYN 459 explosion community also. One time I was once fucked so hard I couldn't walk for 7 days straight, but I was already on my stomach on the bed and he just kept fucking me. It's quite nice actually, but yeah, you're awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Ladies, you have a right to know, before a guy fucks you, how long he intends you not to be able to walk. If it's any longer than 1 to 2 hours or 8 to 9 before bedtime, it's not worth it. I lost everything. Now, I may not be able to walk with these, but I can walk with this. Oh, Kaylee. What for me? Thank you very much. Rock and roll. Good night.